got a bit of a nasty job to do. The roof cutout on the top of the coach house or the saloon basically needs to be prepared to fit the new hardtop that I've made. And you can see here, basically we have this lip here which actually intersects or integrates with the hardtop that I've made, and that's the mold is designed to fit this particular roof. The problem I have is that there's gel coat on the surface. So you can see here we have gel coat here, so down to this black line, this all has to be ground off back to raw glass. Now this is a very substantial laminate here. I mean, it's probably 8 millimeters thick here, probably a lot thicker than it needed to be, but I did do this with the intention of putting this roof on, so I've made it quite thick and quite substantial so that when I grind back into it, I don't get too far, but I give it a really, really strong position to adhere the new hardtop to. The other thing I need to consider is I need to make this wide enough to fit the actual roof, which is going to go almost to the black line there, and then I'm going to have to sand even more out to here so that I've got enough room to actually physically glass the roof onto the cabin top here and then fair it and make it look like it never happened. And that's going to be a massive job, just getting that entire, I mean, it's like 25 feet of fairing that's going to be done here to join this whole thing together. So I'm going to get my flap disc. I'm going to try my drum sander a bit later on, but my flap disc on a grinder, on a small 100mm grinder, basically just to get the bulk material off. It's going to get messy, it's going to get dusty. It's just no way around it. I need to get it done because next Saturday we're intending to lift that roof onto the top of the boat here and get it up and out over the cockpit, and then I can start working on how I'm going to support it in place. I now have the unenviable task of sanding the entire internal seam where the hull and the deck meet, and I now have about a 5mm epoxy line that I need to sort of scuff up because basically the tabbing is going to cover over that, and that will be in vinyl ester. So I must remove any remnant epoxy. Now Janet and I master and we're very, very careful about leaving any epoxy on the face of the hull or the deck. It's only really in that seam, so that vinyl ester is going to tab completely over it, and the epoxy is forming the initial seal, but the tabbing is going to form the final seal of the hull and the deck. So I've got to sand out the entire length, 42 feet on each side, to make sure that I get it all keyed, ready for some vinyl ester tabbing, probably 3 layers of 600 double bias and staggering the joints. So it'll go from 150mm to 200mm to 300mm. That'll be my staggering and my overlap to make sure that that tabbing really does get a good bite on the hull and the deck. It ain't going nowhere. Alright, so I've done all the way from the stern, 3 layers. 100, 200, 300, and then peel ply. And then we're just doing up in the corner here, which is a bit complicated. Doing where the bulkhead is. I find if I pleat it like this, I can get it to go around corners. As good as you're going to get it. Alright, next section's here. up in the forward compartment. We're going to do this bit, and then we'll get up and do the wardrobe up in there, which is about another 1.5 meters. We're going to do all down this port side right now, and then we'll get the other side done, and then we'll worry about the forward compartment. That's going to be a bit of a session for Janet. Inside the compartment, we'll get all these robes and all these bits done. Okay, so that was a really good day. Janet and I have completed the seaming of the port side, and I've just walked into my laminate, all the way along inside all the robes, in through the bathroom in the head there, and up and along this cabin here, all the way to the bow. The only thing is, so all the way to there, we've finished all the way along. It's now totally seamed. The only thing is that hatch there, up the front, that's Janet's job. So Janet's going to be climbing in there at some point, probably not tomorrow, with a respirator on and doing the seaming of that with the 3 or 4 layers of 600 double bias and the peel ply. Also started piecing together the helm stair modification, or the helm platform modification, and I started glassing that together while I had the resin going and splashed it everywhere like I did. But anyway, that's done. And you all right?
Yeah.
It was a big day.
Apart from the news about the front hatch.
Yeah, about the what?
The news about the front hatch, that bit I'm not okay about.
Not okay about getting in there and laminating? No, it's going to suck, but someone's got to do it. I can't because I can't fit. But yeah, Janet enjoying a new sunroof. And the sun's out today for the first time in 2 weeks. We've actually got sun after all the floods and the storms and the like. But yeah, pretty happy. That was a good day. Tomorrow we're going to come in and do the other side. I'm going to get out of here because the fumes are just insane. Pretty happy to have the hull and the deck seams joined. Now these are smooth as. I'm so happy. I was always worried I was going to get this really rough joint. I have got a little bit of an indentation where the gap of the deck and the hull join. Now whether I decide to fair that out or just leave it, because you've got to remember that if I ever want to repair anything there, starting to put in bog and fairing compound is really not ideal. I could get these perfectly smooth, but there is the option always of putting a liner over, and I am inclined to do that with a lot of these areas that are sort of, you know, they're a bit more cosmetic than anything now that the structure's in. But, you know, rip off all the peel ply and reveal my surfaces. I've still got a couple of little areas where the bulkheads have to be tied back to the hull, but to the deck, but not many. I've probably got 3 or 4 in a whole boat. So yeah, really happy to get these done. Some pretty nice results. Finally, I can run my hand along that without even feeling any dags or sharps, and inside the wardrobes here as well. Now, just nice to have it completed and joined. There's a couple of areas inside there I've got to finish off, but you know, these joins are so critical to the, not only to the structure of the boat, but also to make it a boat rather than a hull and a deck, and more so a canoe. Got more peel ply here. And a bit more in here. So you can see here I've actually physically tabbed the hull and the deck together, as well as the row bulkhead. And they are just beautiful and smooth. Just the only way to do it. There's only one way to do this, and that's right. And so there's minimal sanding to be done inside there now. And again down the back here, all the way to the end. She's done. Perhaps the shittiest job of all is seaming the forepeak. Zach and I flow coated it a couple of weeks ago before we dropped the deck down, and Janet has been in there already and glued the hull and deck together. We're just about to prepare these forepeak lockers for tabbing, and very, very importantly, we firstly get in there and put plastic around because it's all nicely flow coated. We don't want vinyl ester flowing everywhere. And secondly, we're going to give it a good sand, give it a good wipe down with acetone. It's been a long time since that's been laminated on that joint, and we're going to seam it. We've seamed the rest of the boat, is all seamed with the exception of the complete cross forebeam across the front here. Bought in a munchkin. Needed a munchkin for this job. We're preparing the forepeak for laminating. Get in the hole. Get in there and hurry up. I've been jammed in.
I'd love to hurry up. You've got the camera going.
I can time lapse this if you want to. We can spend the next 3 hours discussing it. Or we can just get on with the job. Did you see that? Janet's pissed. So we've prepared the whole surface here with plastic sheeting, and Janet got in there and then pulled it all down. So, go, just do it. Get in there and do it. I want to tuck your gloves in. Go. That's it, yeah, just make sure your sleeves are up. Do you want me to tape your arms? Actually, I'll tape your arms. Come here. Come here.
Darling, I'm ready to go. I'm going. I said it's better doing something than talking about it.
Well, you're the one that's talking about it. Just get in and do it. I just said go and do it. Go on, get in there, Oompa Loompa. Get in there and do it. Yes.
I think I used to want to go cave diving.
Well, we did go cave diving.
I know, but you know.
Yeah, it is a bit different. This is sucking fumes, not air.
Yeah, I guess.
Doing a good job there, Dal.
Haven't done it yet.
If you don't do it, no one's doing it. Here you go. It's a tight fit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Righto. You're gonna put your mask on for you, didn't you? What?
I couldn't believe the smell in there. I was going to put my mask on.
Yeah, it's the acetone, isn't it?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Righto, so we're going to start with small pieces. So there's your first piece. Give me the cup. Thanks. Righto, small pieces to start with. Just sort of position it with the stickiness and then try to wet it out. You won't be able to wet it out to start with because I've got the resin here. It's going to be too hard to film this, so we won't bother. Having fun, honey?
No, I'm just stuffing it.
Oh. I'm worried you're going to lose your earring.
Just don't worry about it, Tom. We'll find it.
Earrings fall off. You're a bit overdressed. Overdressed for that job down there. Thought we'd put the fan in to get a bit of a nice sort of wistful look. Oh, Janet just had a full-on spack, and I didn't get it on, but it was pretty brutal. It was like abusing me, and the peel ply was sticking to her hand, sticking to the wall, sticking to the brush, just going everywhere. Hey?
I hate her.
Brilliant. I love it. I love it. I love to see Janet as frustrated as I get every 5 minutes on this job. What's wrong, Annie? What's wrong? Talk. What's wrong?
Feeling in my feet. Oh, it's coming back and it hurts.
I've been sitting here having a nice time listening to a bit of Van Morrison and some Pink Floyd, and Janet's been jammed down in there. Oh, you all right? Got a DVT in her feet. Oh, you're right. Oh, that does not look good. There's my thumbnail right there. Did you notice, everyone, that I put a fan in just to give Janet a little bit of comfort? Don't want to give it too much. Oh, you're right?
Yeah.
Oh, what a job, eh? What was the worst part?
And to think that you complained about me moving the plastic when I put my feet down.
Yeah, what was the worst part about that, when you had a real big swear session there and I heard it? You didn't want anyone else to hear it, but the whole yard heard it. What happened?
The peel ply just didn't work.
It was stuck to the mask, her gloves. It was
Everything.
just a shocker.
And then my gloves were stuck to the brush.
And the language that ensued was just
I'm sorry.
quite unpleasant.
It was, I'm sorry. I've been listening to you way too much, obviously.
Janet's been taking comments from the super coach.
I'm so sorry.
Luckily I didn't record it. I record every time I swear. But anyway, get back down there and finish it. This has been a bit more of a saga than we anticipated, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, so Janet's just finishing off the tabbing. It has been a bit of a bastard of a job. There's not quite enough room to move around in there, but there's enough room for Janet to fit, but not quite enough room for her to move around. But just getting this done, she's done an amazing job. I think you've done about 10 exits from the room, haven't you, out of the hatch? Had to lift out a few times because of numbness in the legs, but it's such a tight spot because it's narrowing down, it tapers down into a very fine hatch. But you're doing a great job there. Righto. Thanks. Yo. Righto, you can come out now. And I don't want any whinging. Hey? Yeah, remember the other day when you caught me with the pups and you called me Happy Harry? Well, this is your turn. What's wrong, honey? That was pretty bad, wasn't it? And the camera's on, so I want you to tell the real truth about that experience. Tell us the truth. The truth, go on, just let it out.
That would
say
have
it,
to
you
be,
can say it.
No, I'm not going to swear. But that would have to be probably one of the worst experiences of my life. And that is no exaggeration. I'm not prone to exaggeration like someone else.
No, she's not prone to hyperbole.
It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. You don't know.
Wait, as soon as I turn this off, there's going to be some words flying, and I'm going to get abused.
No, it's not, because he's been very supportive. He has, and he couldn't get in here anyway. So I know the only reason I'm doing it is because you can't. I just haven't laminated as much as you, so I can't do it.
It's pretty hard when you haven't done a lot.
I can't do it anywhere near as good as Ross, but I can see what Ross does and how well he does it, and it just frustrates me that I can't do that.
Yeah, so there was many things said, wasn't there, hon?
Oh, yeah, it was better that time. That last time, yeah, that was better. I was.
What's the life-changing moments that changed that whole experience for you?
This.
The fan.
This.
Yeah.
And then for part of it, the air flowing mask. Yeah. But this just changed it out of sight.
Oh, well done. You can, I don't know, help me do the other one. Do you know how lucky you are?
I know. I've got to do it all over.
There's another side.
But
we'll perfect our technique in there and we'll get it right over there.
So here's the terminology. Ross's terminology, the worst thing about this is you've got to do two. My terminology is, I finished one, I've only got one to go. It's the only way I can get through it. I can't do it the way Ross does it. It just does my head in.
I honestly thought I was going to be divorced at the end of that.
No.
There's only certain things you can put R2-D2 through, and that was one of them.
Well, I'm laughing with the fumes.
All right, sign off. Get out.
All right.
Down on the starboard side now. She's keen. We're going to come in. We're just prepping this now. It's late in the afternoon, and we're going to then get in and laminate it tomorrow.